Yo, what's up? Bob here. Welcome to Vinyl Finds on the Bob Bradley YouTube channel. This is number 64. That's right, folks. Number 64. Found some records this week, and we're going to get into them right now. Coming in hot. Bam. Shuggie Otis. Here comes Shuggie Otis. Shuggie Otis, what can I say? He started playing guitar when he was very, very young, and he played in a band with his dad, who was also a famous musician. And Shuggie, they took him out. They put, he played in bars. They put a little fake mustache on him and stuff, and he, kind of cut his teeth doing that. And he stopped playing with his dad eventually and made this record. This is the first Shuggie Otis solo record, and quite ambitious, to say the least. It's bluesy, it's funky, it's got strings on it and other kind of, orchestrated stuff. Not all of it is great, but it's a really, really ambitious record, and it's a good record. I've been looking for it. This one's on this orange Epic label. We're going to call this like a bullseye, maybe. And, I mean, he's on the front here with his beautiful 335 by the Gibson Guitar Company. Yeah, that's right. And let's see, what else about Shuggie? Shuggie played on Frank Zappa's Peaches and Regalia. Yeah, bass. He played bass on that. Off of Hot Rats, which I'm still actively looking for a beautiful copy of Hot Rats. I've been very unsuccessful. That said, this is a great album. I've been looking for it. It does have a little ring wear, but the vinyl's really nice, and I'm glad to have it. I got it for cheap, and it's really really cool. In the 90s, I got turned on to Shuggie, and I've always been looking for that, so yeah. Speaking of the 90s, 1998 to be precise, found this. Bam, Jeff Buckley, Sketches for My Sweetheart the Drunk. This record came out in 98, shortly after Jeff's unexpected and untimely death, drowned in the Mississippi River. Huge loss. Jeff Buckley, impossibly perfect master, and has those vocals kind of handed down from his father Tim, and just really killer stuff here. Everybody Wants You, Satisfied Mind, New Year's Eve Prayer. This is really sweet. This is a 3 LP set on Columbia. Super glad to have it. I'm a giant Buckley fan. If you don't have Grace and My Sweetheart the Drunk, you should definitely get them right away. They're really, really good. And, always wanted an original pressing of that record, so I'm super stoked on it. Next, Record Store Day. Black Friday. I wanted this. I didn't get my hands on it that day, and then the other day I saw it sitting there and I grabbed it. Herbie Hancock Direct Step. Yeah, look, there's some elephants on the cover here, some kids down here. It's hard to see. It's a very dark cover. Got the little kind of faux obi right here, but this is on that Columbia Direct disc, and this record is super funky, and how can I describe it? Side 2 is like Daft Punk's Random Access Memories if it was actually as good as everybody says it is. This record right here, to me, is much better than Random Access Memories. The reason why I compare them is because there's a bunch of vocoder vocal on side 2 of this record, and it sounds insanely good. This is a great record, and I bought that Daft Punk record, And I listened to it like about 10 times, and I thought, man, this is not that great. I mean, it was sort of funky and repetitive, and it was this big, long, extravagant thing. It was like a 3 LP or something like that. And at the end of the day, I just felt like it was background music. I didn't think it was that great. This right here, this is much more my speed. So, Herbie Hancock, Direct Step, RSD 2019 Black Friday. You got to get this. This is, if you see this out there, it's cheap. You might as well just buy it. It's great. Here we go. Bam, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Double Trouble, Texas Flood. That's right, yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan, the perfect master of all things Texas blues, Stratocasters. If you want to hear a little Stratocaster master souffle, this is the record. This is fantastic. This is Stevie Ray's first record. This thing is just loaded with awesome tracks. Texas Flood, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Dirty Pool, Rude Mood. I mean, this thing is dope. Testify. Now, I will say that I'm Crying and Pride and Joy sound so freaking similar. They're both like a Texas shuffle with like a lot of the same licks and stuff. Stevie Ray, occupies this space where he's simultaneously one of the greatest guitar players of all time and also one of the most overrated guitar players of all time. And a lot of it has to do with just like the tremendous amount of hype that the fans put on to him. There's so many guys that go out and they try to figure out all the songs lick for lick, and they get all the gear, and they get themselves a little hat and a Stratocaster, and they try to become Stevie Ray. It really wears on people, and then after a while they start to develop a negative attitude towards Stevie. But the reality of it is Stevie Ray Vaughan is great, and he's a fantastic guitar player. He's got one of the greatest guitar tones of all guitar tones ever. And if you don't have this record, you should get it. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking like, Bob, here's the back, by the way. You're thinking, Bob, didn't you already have that record? And I'm thinking, yeah, I did. It's right here, sealed, original pressing. I didn't want to open this, so when I saw a really nice clean one for cheap, I thought, yeah, I'll pick that up. That way I won't have to open the sealed one. I don't know. I'm an idiot. But anyhow, that's a great record. Okay? I mean, I could go on and on and on about Stevie Ray. I could tell you all the myths and stories about Stevie Ray. If you've never seen Live at El Macombo, you need to go watch that right away, because it's one of the most burning documents of a live gig ever. I mean, if you don't believe in Stevie Ray right now, you watch El Macombo, you will, believe me. El Macombo and Texas Flood came out in '83. It was the first two things he ever did, and it's mind-blowing stuff. If you're a fan of guitar, you need to see that right away. All right, here we go. Coming in hot. Bam. Man Who Sold the World, David Bowie. Now, this is one of the few Bowie records I did not have. This is a U.S. original press. It's okay. Obviously Man Who Sold the World's on here. That was popularized in the there was a resurgence of this record in the 90s because Nirvana played Man Who Sold the World at the Unplugged. And, this is a pretty decent record. You guys know how I feel about Bowie. A lot of the material is great, and a lot of it's just okay. This is a fairly strong album. This is not the original cover. The original cover, which I'll post that somewhere here, is like a cartoonish looking cover, a guy with a shotgun maybe walking on a farm. And that's a highly counterfeited record. The original U.S. cover is. And just on a side note, the way that you could tell if it's counterfeit or real is in the dead wax. If it's hand-scribed numbers in the dead wax, it is counterfeit. If it's stamped, it's the real deal. I've bought the counterfeit one several times, and ended up getting rid of them. But now the counterfeit ones are even starting to go up in price. But I do like this cover a bit better, so I saw this and snatched it up. I'm going to try to get a real original of that at some point, but, you know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be successful in that endeavor. We'll see. Speaking of endeavors that I have been successful in, as I talked about on Vinyl Tag 2020, I have the whole Hendrix discography, and now I am collecting the various versions of the records. And I found this. Boom, Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsys puppet cover. Yeah, this is the fabled puppet cover of the Band of Gypsys record. Very, very cool, right? Look at this. Look at that. That is so cool. That's, you know, Jimmy's here. He's got his little guitar, and he's just like, what a cool puppet. If they sold this, I would buy this puppet right away. That is so awesome. This is amazing. This is amazing. Now, this one's on Polydor. And, you know, I always wanted this. It is this record right here. The Hendrix Band of Gypsys record. These are mostly tracks taken from the Fillmore East show. Now, this is just okay as a record. This one here is RL, mastered by Robert Ludwig, and sounds fantastic. It sounds a little bit better than this one here, but here's the deal. In like 99, they released Jimmy live at the Fillmore East, which is the entire show that the Band of Gypsys played, okay? They did make it on vinyl. It was a 3 LP set, and it was really hard to get. But it kills this. The live at the Fillmore East is like trumps this record like tenfold, because it has all of the songs and 2 nights, and it is just unbelievably killer. Now, this does have Machine Gun, Changes, Who Knows, Power of Soul, Message to Love, We Gotta Live Together. I mean, it's a short, kind of a short record, but it's dope. I mean, it's really good, but not as cool as the Live at the Fillmore East. So if you see Live at the Fillmore East, you should pick that up right away. Yeah. So yeah, really stoked on that. Glad that I got the puppet cover finally. That's really, really awesome. Now all I really need is the Electric Ladyland with the naked ladies on the front. And if I can get that, I'll have pretty much every different version of the album cover. So, sitting here today with my 1965 335. Now, I have been making some recording vlogs. The band that I play with, Condors in the System, is working on a new record called Nothing Matters, Everything Matters. And I've been putting up some videos about it. There's 3 right now. And they're just short little videos. And if you want to check them out, you'll see what we're up to. Also, our 2 records that we already have out, Lose It All, Volume 1, and Music from the Ego Nebula, are available on all streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Also, you can go to our Bandcamp page and download the records, or at least just check them out, you know. We would really appreciate it. Other than that, I'm just out here looking for records. Been a bunch of awesome videos coming out in the VC, and I've been watching all of that. I mean, great stuff. And you know, I'm still a little down. I think I might have gotten the Kung flu, but I am on the way back up. And you know, are going to be back out there hunting down them records, you know. Hopefully I'll find some great stuff. But anyway, please like, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment down below. Until we meet again. Yeah, that's right, folks. Bob out.
Thank you.